हरे कृष्ण गुरु महाराज, प्लीज एक्सेप्ट माय हम्बल ओबेइसेंसेस ऑफ लॉर्ड श्री प्रभुपाद। सभी भक्तों को मेरा सादर प्रणाम है। आज रविवार है और प्राय रविवार को हमारी अंग्रेजी टॉक्स होती है। आज हमारे बीच श्रीमान हरि कीर्तन प्रभु आज का जपा टॉक डिलीवर करने उपस्थित है। प्रभु जी में जितने भी कंस्ट्रक्शन है, मंदिर जितने बन रहे हैं, प्रभु जी उसके प्रकार से इंचार्ज ही है। गुरु महाराज जी ने कहा है कि उसका पूरा एक प्रकार से जिम्मेदारी कहिए, ऑब्जर्वेशन कहिए या अप्रूवल्स कहिए, श्रीमान हरि कीर्तन प्रभु के मार्गदर्शन में ही होगा। तो हमारा परम सौभाग्य है कि हमारे वरिष्ठ गुरु भाई का संग हमें आज प्राप्त होने जा रहा है। तो सभी से अनुरोध है, नाम जप को विराम देकर ध्यान पूर्वक आज का टॉक श्रवण करिए। और प्रभु जी कोई विदेशी तो नहीं है तो उनका अंग्रेजी समझ नहीं आए, ऐसी बात नहीं है। तो आप सरलता से प्रभु जी का भाषा या प्रोनाउंसिएशन भी समझ पाएंगे और नीचे ट्रांसक्रिप्शन भी होगा ही। सभी से अनुरोध है कि ध्यान पूर्वक आज का टॉक श्रवण करें। और अब ज्यादा समय न लेते हुए श्रीमान हरि कीर्तन प्रभु से अनुरोध करते हैं, प्रभु जी आज का टॉक प्रारंभ करें। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Padmali Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity. And I also express my heartfelt gratitude unto the lotus feet of my beloved spiritual master, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada for all that they have given to me, this wonderful movement, you all wonderful devotees. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Lokanath Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ऊकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लांघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. So I beg for your mercy, your blessings. Many senior devotees are sitting here. So please bestow your causeless mercy and blessings upon me so that I can become an instrument to deliver a message of our previous acharyas, Lord, as he has revealed in Bhagavad Gita. So today's topic is basically the heart of Bhagavad Gita. So recently I was in Maharashtra, Nagpur. Right now I'm in Noida. So in Maharashtra, there was an election and the government which won with a thumping majority, like they got, many seats and they became victorious. And thereafter, we can see that so much people are talking about Sanatan Dharma, how to, we are Sanatanis, and Sanatan Dharma should come back, and we will support them who will propagate Sanatan Dharma. But we see that after the elections are done, the party becomes victorious. Then what is the role thereafter? Or we have got a Sanatan government. We have those who are supporting Sanatanis. So people are shouting so much Sanatan slogans, left and right, and they want to, just establish, we have won, we are victorious. But what is it that after these elections are over, when such a government comes, then what is the role of ISKCON devotees basically, or the any Sanatan Dharmi in general? What is his role after he gets a favorable situation, favorable government, you know. So does he become lethargic? Does he become very easygoing? He sleeps comfortably and remain busy in so many other things. So what is the role that we all have to play? You know, Prabhupada said that Indians have a big responsibility, and amongst Indians, the ISKCON devotees are a very, very meager percentage, a very small percentage. But these ISKCON devotees have a very big role to play, a very big role to play, because people who keep shouting Sanatan slogans, are they really Sanatan, or are they knowing the tenets of Sanatan Dharma? Actually, not. We have to understand the difference in between Sanatan Dharma, between the spiritualists who are devoted to Krishna, who are Krishna devotees, and the religionists, or those who are, some way, following some religion. There's a vast difference. If we will try to understand that we may be so-called religionists, but are we really Sanatanis? Are we really the followers of Sanatan Dharma, or the Sanatan Dharma, or the devotees of Krishna? So if we will look at the difference between the so-called spiritualists, transcendentalists, and religionists, we will see there is a lot of difference. So ISKCON has a big role to play to convert these religionists, so-called, Sanatanis, into, they're becoming Krishna devotees, or, following the path of spiritual knowledge. Mm. So when we see a person, two persons are climbing the stairs of a temple, both may be putting a nice tilak, they may be, putting up a dhoti and a kanti also, and with a plate of prasadam and a plate of coconut and garland, and they go to the deities. But one is a religionist and another one is a devotee. A religionist goes to the temple to ask from Krishna. Krishna, you fulfill my this desire. Krishna, I need this. I want this. Can you give me this? Can you give me that? So he has a wish list, a long list that he puts up to Krishna. On the contrary, the spiritualist or a devotee of Krishna, when he goes into the temple, he goes in the temple to give to Krishna. Krishna, I have brought these wonderful flowers for you. Please, this I'm offering you as, please accept it, and help me increasing my devotion towards you, so that I can become a nice devotee, I can become a good devotee, I can serve the Vaishnavas, I can serve Srila Prabhupada in the right spirit. So there's a vast difference. Both have access to the scriptures. The religionists have this access to the scriptures, and the devotees are reading the scriptures. But is it the same what they're deriving from the scriptures? Actually not. One read to get some piety. He's reading so many chalisas every day, Sundarkand, Ramayana, Shuk Sagar, Mahabharata, or Srimad Bhagavatam, and a devotee is reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And there's a lot of difference what they derive out of reading the scriptures. So the devotees dive deep to take out the pearls of wisdom to apply to his life and become a better devotee. So that is what devotee is looking from the scriptures. On the contrary, there's religionists. They're looking for, getting some piety. Or if I will not read, my puja is not over. If I don't read this, and if my puja is not over, then the deity may become unhappy with me. So the religionists are always in fearful stage of mind. They're always fearful stage of mind. Fear of losing life, fear of losing health, fear of losing comfort, fear of losing money, fear of losing people. And they're always in anxiety, you know. Whereas, whereas devotees, they work for pleasing the Lord and look for an eternal life of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. They are not fearful. Rather, they are working on getting rid of all kinds of fears in their life. You know, so everyone, so these religionists basically they do not know how to come to this stage which a devotee is practicing. So we can see that they are so fearful, so they all are. If you ask anybody what are they looking for, actually they all are looking for eternal life. They all are looking for, Satchida Anand. They all are looking for, they don't want to die. They don't want to get old. They don't want to get diseased. No suffering. Then why do we get these troubles? They don't know the solution to that. They don't know what is the answer to why are we suffering when we don't want suffering. Uh, a famous British writer and a literary scholar, uh, C.S. Lewis, he says that if we are looking for the things that don't seem possible in this world, we want eternity, we want happiness, eternal happiness, we want not to get old, we want to live forever, we want always to be happy, blissful. uh, but if we do not get these things in this world, then surely there exists another world where there is eternity, blissful life, and no birth, death, old age, and disease. So even the Christian monk says this, that if we are looking for things that are not possible in this material world, that means there exists another world where we can get, all these permanent things. We are happy, always happy. So dear devotees, when I, when ISKCON devotees have this formula with us, that can make the world with 8 billion people, like just imagine how big a role we have to play. We all have to convert these so-called religionists into transcendentalists, into becoming Krishna devotees. This is the role that we all have to play. And this is a very big role. Srila Prabhupada said, if there are 100 plus crore people in this land of Bharat Varsha who are, Hindus, who are so-called religionists, who are trying to become Sanatanis, who are fighting for Sanatan, who are carrying on the slogans of Sanatan. But are they really Sanatanists? No. So ISKCON devotees have got a very big role to play. ISKCON devotees, uh, we can make the world, a wonderful place if we convert these so-called religionists into Krishna devotees. And only the formula, that is, only ISKCON has that formula. And what is that formula? What is that formula? Just yesterday we were discussing, and I was telling that how, if anyone once take to the chanting of Maha Mantra, or if one starts reading Bhagavad Gita, so Krishna gives us this Bhagavad Gita as it is. Krishna gives us Bhagavad Gita. Krishna loves all of us. Just as Gurudev says many times, Krishna love you. Krishna loves us. Krishna really loves us. And this song of Krishna is actually his love for all of us. How much he loves us, that is reflected in Bhagavad Gita as it is. This one book can make all the people of this world true essence seekers. All religionists, so-called religionists, if they understand the message of Bhagavad Gita, if we can preach, and this is the responsibility we all have, and this is what we are doing in this month of, Mokshada Ekadashi, Gita Marathon month, when we have this, just 3 days from now, it's Mokshada Ekadashi, the day, the glorious day when Krishna will reveal this topmost secret on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So this one book can make all the people of this world true essence seekers, show them path to live peacefully in this world, and after this life, they can enter into the world that has no anxiety, that has no anxiety. So in Gita Mahatma, it is wonderfully explained. So actually, our target is to see how these so-called religionists in this, in Bharat Bhumi, they take to Eko Shastro Devaki Putra Gita. You think of the place of this world, how it would be, how this Bharat Varsha would be if all the, so-called religionists, they all take to the shelter of this one Bhagavad Gita. Eko Shastra Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Devo. Devaki Putra Eva. Only one God. There is one God. Everybody says that. Muslims say that there is one God. Christians say that there is one God. We also accept this, that there is only one God. Devaki putra eva. Mantrapi ekam tasya namani yani, And there is only one mantra to be chanted, the names of this Devaki Putra, And karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. And there is only one karma to be performed, that is the service to this Devaki Putra, Krishna. So this is what Gita Mahatma says, you know, Male Nirmochanam Pumsam Jale Snanam Dine Dine Sakrat Gita Amrit Snanam Samsaram Malanashanam. So like we take bath every day, we may add some Ganga water to our bucket that we are going to take bath, and we clean our dirt, of the body stinks, body, all the pores of body, they get, contaminated when we wake up in the morning, we go to take bath, but what about, how to get rid of this samsara malanashanam, this bhavarog, this contamination of being in this material body itself, because this material body is not a very, very conducive place to live in. This is not a very purified place. Just imagine the place which is filled with such a garbage, anything that comes out of this body, we just don't want to even look at that, and such is the place where we all are living. So samsaramal nashanam, sakrat gita amritashnanam, samsaramal nashanam. We can, we can get cleansed of this mal, of this samsar, of this bhavasagar by Bhagavad Gita. So a famous utilitarian, American utilitarian, Jeremy Thomas Bentham, he said, we want to do. He's a utilitarian. He says we want to do the greatest good for the greatest number of people of the world. And Srila Prabhupada said, we want to do the ultimate good for all the people of the world. So this is the difference between so-called philanthropists in this world who want to do some good to the society, but they don't know how to do the ultimate good to the society. Everyone, for everyone. So, my dear devotees, this Bhagavad Gita is, as I was telling, this is it's a song of Lord. How much Krishna loves us can be understood from each and every shloka. Every shloka that is coming out of the lotus mouth of Krishna. Ya Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padma Vinishrita. Is coming out of the lotus mouth of Krishna. So he's not doing any, cheap talk, irrelevant talk. It is full of meaning. Every single shloka of Bhagavad Gita one can do PhD on every shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So much it takes to understand Bhagavad Gita. But once somebody understands even one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, मयि आसक्त मनः पार्थ योगम युञ्जन्मद आश्रय असंशयम समग्रमाम यथा ज्ञास्यसि तच्छृणु. Krishna says in 7th chapter, first shloka, Mai asakt manapartha. What it takes one to totally get absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. This is such a big subject, So just every shloka of Bhagavad. And on the top of that, Krishna sent Srila Prabhupada, his dearmost loving devotee, his loving friend. He sent to Srila Prabhupada saying that you give elaborate purports to every shloka that I speak so that one is not carried away. One is not carried away by karma, jnana, ashtanga, all these paths. One is not carried away, and one remains fixed on the goal of attaining the love of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, through bhakti. Bhagavad Gita is just bhakti. Bhagavad Gita is only devotion to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, although Krishna speaks so many things in so many ways, trying to, satisfying Arjuna and people like, some bewildered soul, talking about different yogas, but ultimately he talks, only bhakti yoga, because he is here to make us become successful in this material world by living Krishna-centered life, and after leaving this material world, he wants us all to enter into the spiritual kingdom. Yaha prayati sa madbhavam. Janma karma chamedyam yome viti tyaktva deham punar naiti mam eti. He comes to me. Manmana bhav mad bhakto mam e vaishyasi satyam te pratijani presum. So again, again, he's saying how one can come back to me, how one can know me, how one can get into my nature, attain my nature. So, Prabhupada has done great job actually to make this Bhagavad Gita the giver of true essence, and we can see before Prabhupada. My from my childhood, like 5 6 years of age, I was somehow attracted to this Bhagavad Gita, and any bus stand or any railway station I would travel, I would just take a copy of that. But just reading 2 3 pages after that, I could not understand. I could not really assimilate what it is saying basically. But after getting a copy of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and reading it and understanding every shloka has such beautiful purport, and you can understand the shloka as it is. So Arjuna is the topmost Krishna conscious person. Arjun is a pure devotee of Krishna. So how come he got bewildered? How come he got totally into anxiety? His throat is drying up. His Gandiva, who like he was so accustomed to use it, he was so much trained onto it, but that is slipping out of his hands. His throat is completely getting dried up, and all the his body is trembling with anxiety, with fear, with depression. How could it happen? Why did it happen? uh, Krishna did it. Krishna brought him into this bewilderment. This is the same Arjuna who just few days back, few months back, in the battlefield of Virata, where he met all these grandfather and his grand teacher, and everyone was there. The same Kuru dynasty was there in Virat, and Arjuna could easily defeat them. Then he did not develop this bewilderment. Then he did not develop this anxiety. But why now? Huh? So because uh, how come he's overcome by Vishad, ignorance now? Yeah? So he's in such a difficult situation. This was the situation created by Krishna, who found it the most appropriate situation, the most appropriate, scene, the platform, the stage where he can give this knowledge. Knowledge given to a Kshatriya, who is a Grihastha, who is a father, who is a king, who is a diplomat, and who is a worldly person, you know. So in the midst of the two armies, Arjuna becomes, bewildered. He's in anxiety. He's crying literally. He's shedding tears. So Krishna, because Krishna is the source of all intelligence, all forgetfulness, and all memory. Arjun forgot the purpose he came for, and he completely gets, overcome by such weakness of heart. So Krishna created a situation wherein now, in some time, he can give that knowledge to Arjuna, which becomes relevant for all times to come, for all classes of people, for all age of people, because Arjuna is a householder. He's a duty bound. He's a kshatriya who has come to deliver fight this battle. So Bhagavad Gita, like we see in any other Gaudiya Vaishnav scriptures, Bhagavad Gita can be, appreciated with these three principles of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Priyojana. Hmm. Hmm. So we can see in Bhagavad Gita, why I'm trying to put up all these points, my dear devotees, so that we all develop intense love and affection. This one book, if somebody reads it continuously throughout his life, every day, for 15 20 minutes, and read this Bhagavad Gita 5 7 10 times, and just keep on reading it. Every time he will read, he will get more closer to Krishna. He will become more conscious of what he is doing. He will really become the true essence seeker. That's why Prabhupada said this elementary book that Prabhupada called it does not mean that, oh, now I have read Bhagavad Gita, now I don't have to look towards it. Now I have entered into Bhagavatam, or now I have entered into Chaitanya Charitamrita. No, we have to understand, because many a times, we often tend to forget, who we are. even after 15, 20, 25 years of constant practice, we if we try to see that our sambandh gyan is not established, our sambandh gyan is not established. So Krishna has actually revealed through Bhagavad Gita uh, what is the true sambandha, and sambandha between Jiva, we, and Krishna, sambandha between us and this material nature, how this material nature is working upon us, how it is, putting us in different modes at different time of the day and making us sometimes to act, in tamagun, rajagun, and satagun. So we have to understand the relationship, how we are actually related with these material nature. So sambandha between living entity and prakriti, and then sambandha between living entity and other living entities, you know, which is man management, how to deal with other living entities, what qualities one should acquire, what qualities should one work upon to develop a wonderful relationship between other living entities, So through these five, through the five topics of Bhagavad Gita, namely Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kal, and Karma, Krishna tries to, first establish our Sambandha Gyan. Yeah. So as we see, as the Bhagavad Gita opens, and now Arjuna is talking, like giving so many reasons for not fighting, but Krishna just, um, uh, wants to bring him to his senses. Kutastva, from where this Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anare Jushtam Aswargam Akirtim Karam Arjuna? You are thinking like Anarya. One who knows the values of life, he does not talk like this. Kashmalan, Kutastva, from where it has come. So somebody may say, prompt to Krishna, that Krishna, you only gave him this, Kashmalam, you have brought him into this situation. So Krishna, like on one side, he's laughing, he's smiling. On the side, he's chastising Arjuna. Okay, how come you have yielded to such a impotence? क्लैब्यमास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्तत् उपपद्यते क्षुद्रम हृदय दौर्बल्यम त्यक्तोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. So here Krishna is actually talking to all of us, talking to all of us. Uh, those who are not guided by scriptures, यह शास्त्र विधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारता न च सिद्धिम अवाप्नोति न सुखम न पराम गतिम. He is guiding to all of us that we should be, having a shastriya shraddha. We should be like many a times when we are perplexed, when we are in difficult situations, we should be remembering this shloka. From where this degrading impotence is carrying is affecting me. Uh, हृदय दौर्बल्यम क्षुद्रम हृदय दौर्बल्यम त्यक्त उत्तिष्ठ परंतप. So Krishna wants us to, overcome hriday daurbalyam, hriday daurbalyam. So Krishna says this, and then when at some point, in this chapter, when Arjuna completely surrenders to Krishna, now I'm taking shelter of you. You are like my guru, because I am totally taken over by ignorance. I don't know what is good for me, what I should do. So now I'm taking karpanya dosha prahat svabhava, prachami tvam dharma sammula cheta. Yat shreyasya nishchitam gruhitam. Oh Krishna, whatever is befitting for me in this hour of crisis, please tell me, Shishyasteham, Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam, I'm taking full shelter of you. And then Krishna takes over. Now Krishna is smiling. Till yesterday you were like a friend playing with me, and now you are taking shelter of me. But Krishna is the most befitting spiritual master. Krishna did not hesitate. Similarly, whenever a devotee seeks to, maybe two devotees are having very, jovial and friendly relationship, but it is the duty of one devotee that when another devotee, falls victim of some, hriday durbalta, or some anarthas, or he's struggling with some difficulties, then it's a duty of another devotee to guide, to help that devotee who is suffering, and bring him out of that situation. So Krishna now is smiling. Okay, you are tamavacha rishikesha prahasanneva bharata senayor ubayor madhye um, um, Vishidantam idam vacha. And now Krishna starts speaking. Now Krishna smiles. So when does a friend smile? Suppose you are in a very miserable condition and you go to a friend and that friend starts smiling. So he will only smile either he is mocking at you, he is मजे ले रहा है आपके कि ओह देखो बड़े बड़ा ज्ञानी बनता था, बहुत ऐसा बनता था, अब देखो कैसे रो रहा है। या तो आपका मित्र इस वजह से स्माइल करेगा, या फिर वो स्माइल करेगा बिकॉज ही इज आउट ऑफ दैट सिचुएशन एंड ही नोज the solution by which you can also come out of that situation. So Krishna knew that, okay, Arjuna is in this difficult situation and he's taking shelter of me. Now I will guide him. I will guide him in a way that he not only fights this battle, but he actually understands the truth, the absolute truth in and out. He knows every single aspect by which he can remain he becomes Krishna conscious. He remains always in the fixed knowledge, and he continues to work, in Krishna consciousness, and finally he attains to my lotus feet, and he surrenders everything for attaining my, blessings and my personal association. So this chapter mainly stresses upon getting the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's a very important chapter. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, if you will see the two aspects which are spoken very, very elaborately by Krishna. One is for establishing all of us in our true identity. Uh, True identity, which is very, very important, my dear devotees. The Sambandha Gyan is not, cannot be accomplished, cannot be established unless until we know in truth who we are. Who we are. Till the time we are recognizing ourselves with this body, with the designations of the body. I am a male, I am a vice president, I am such, I am a president, I am a fundraiser, I am a female, I'm a father, I'm a vice president of a big real estate company. These are all false designations. In namesake, we often keep saying this, but when it comes to practice, we many a times, forget it. So Krishna wants all of us to actually know who we truly are. And so the first thing he tells to Arjuna is Srila Prabhupada says in 2.13 shloka, purport, any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul, and nature. The individual soul, the super soul, and the nature, both material and spiritual, is called dhira. Is called dhira. Or a most sober person. Such a man is never deluded by the changes of the body. No? So we all are slowly, many of you who are sitting here may have crossed 50 years of life, 60 years of life, and as we are heading towards old age, we all are seeing our bodies dwindling. We all are seeing our bodies, getting more and more diseased, more and more, difficulties. We have difficulty in walking, we have difficulty in digesting, we have difficulty in seeing, we have difficulty in hearing, and this is going to increase. Is going to increase. So unless and until we know perfectly, that we are the soul, we are just into this body, as we put up these garments, Krishna says. So Krishna on one side gives this knowledge about the soul. So someone may ask, So what if I have perfect knowledge about the soul, about these three things, soul, super soul, and the nature, material and spiritual? Will I not get any kind of difficulties or miseries, my dear Krishna? If I understand, what will happen? Krishna says, no, 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 no. Let the miseries come, let the happiness come, but you just tolerate them, because that comes from the sense perception only. You perceive it with your senses, but you have to tolerate it, just like you tolerate summers and winters. Just like you tolerate summers and winter. Matra sparshastha kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkha agama payano nityams. Agama payano nityams. Tam stitikshasvar. So you have to tolerate. So Krishna is teaching us how to tolerate the pangs of material sufferings, the difficulties that we get. So what will happen if I keep tolerating? What will happen if I keep tolerating? Somebody may ask Krishna, what will happen? Then Krishna says, Yam hi na vyathyante te purusham purusharshava sam sukha dukham dhiram so amrit tatvaya kalpate. So, oh best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both. And this is a big statement of Krishna. And devotees can practice this because they have Krishna in their lives, that they see Krishna in the time of very great happiness that comes. They see this as mercy of Krishna. Krishna, this is Krishna's. Krishna has given this time to me, and this time is not permanent. Devotee knows this. So he does not get bewildered. He does not get too much anxious, when either happiness comes or there is distress. Yam hina vyatyante te purusham purushashva. And is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So Amrit Tatvaya Kalpate, Krishna says. So Krishna speaks many, many verses establishing the knowledge about the soul and how it is indestructible. Avinashi tu tad vidyen sarvamitam tata. Huh? Krishna speaks so many shlokas. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sada. Then this is like this cannot be cut into pieces, this cannot be burned, this cannot be. So he tells about the eternity of the soul, the eternal nature of the soul, one which that never takes birth, one which never dies, one which cannot be dried or burnt or then why this soul should get bewildered when this body is cut or body is. So our Krishna wants Arjuna to come to that situation. uh, and then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15.7, Mamaivanshu Jivaloke. This soul is not some nomad or some unknown person in this mighty ocean or desert of this material world. It is my part and parcel, Krishna says. Mamaivanshu is my ansha. And Prabhupada beautifully explains that like a hand is very nicely served when it serves the body. When it serves the body, it is very nicely taken care of. And a hand which is diseased और which has got some लकवा मार गया हाथ को, तब ये हाथ शरीर की सेवा नहीं कर सकता है. तो similarly, अंशी, we all are anshis, we are all are eternal uh, parts and parcels of Krishna. And our duty, Krishna explains, is to serve Him. To serve Him. Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yad juhoshi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunte, tat kurush madarpanam. You do it for me. Whatever you eat, yagya shishtasano santa muchyante sarva kilvishay. Bhunkte te tvagam papam, ye pachante atma karanat. You are only eating in verily sense if you are just eating for Atma Karanat. You are just enjoying eating all kind of foods without offering to me, then it becomes like a most binding situation. And so Krishna said that if you offer to me first patram pushpam phalam toyam, this includes everything that when that a man is supposed to eat, that a devotee is supposed to eat. Patra, pushpa, phalam, toyam. We eat pushpa, we eat full gobi, we eat patra, we eat shags, we eat phalam, we eat so many fruits. and we use water. So with all this, we prepare nice dishes for Krishna, and then we offer it to him, and then we eat it. So, how should a jeev carry out his responsibilities according to the varna and ashrama? Now Krishna moves on to that. Okay, now if you understand, you are the soul, you are soul, and I am the super soul, and we both have eternal relationship. Now you have to act in this world. Now you have to deeply understand, strengthen your understanding. So this was like theoretical knowledge that Krishna spoke, about your being, us being a soul, and his being a super soul, and our relationship. But now how to practice this eternal relationship while performing our duties, while dealing with material nature, while dealing with many many people. How do we convert this a theoretical understanding into a practice, into a living practice? This Krishna explains, and this becomes the source of uh, abhideya. When Krishna clarifies how a living entity that is engaged in gross body has to act according to the different varna ashramas defined by the modes. He tells Arjuna to fight for establishing religious principle. So he talks to Arjuna first, that how if you fight, you get Swargaloka, you get, such a fame, so he's talking like, any Sakam Karmi would do, okay, if you will do this, you will get this, but slowly he comes to a position when he wants Krishna to work without without fruitive results. Eshati bihita sanke buddhiryoge twimam shrunu buddhaya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. So from sakam to nishikam karma, now no more attachment to the fruit of the karma. And further, he will talk about no more attachment to karma itself. Oh Parth, when you act in such a knowledge, you can free from the bondage of works. So Krishna wants us to perform actually, the transcendental, any work that we do, we can either do it as sakam karma, or we can do it as a nishkam karma, or we can do it as a karma for Krishna, or we offer by offering the result, the fruit of that karma for Krishna conscious activities. And that is what, Abhideya Krishna wants to explain to all of us. The rules, regulation, process by which Krishna wants us to develop spiritual qualities slowly transcend the fruitive mentality to working without attachment to the fruits of work, to the stage of working for Krishna, working in Krishna consciousness. So Krishna speaks of various yogas, karma, jnana, ashtanga, sannyas, but in talking about all the yogas, his aim is to become, how we can become dear to Krishna and become his devotees. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga mochyate. And then perform your duty equiposed. सिद्धि मिलेगी, असिद्धि मिलेगी, पास होंगे, फेल होंगे, do best karma, do best karma, and thereafter. And this is what Krishna wants all of us to do. And this is only possible when we are Krishna conscious actually. When Krishna says कि कर्मणि एव अधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भु माते संगस्व कर्मणि. You have only right to the karma. You have only right to the karma. You cannot expect the result of karma. So we can do the endeavor. We can work hard, keeping the goal, keeping the karma phal in our minds. Okay, this is the desired karma phal that I will get after I perform this, karma. But we cannot get attached to it. We cannot get. We may get the desired result. We may get better than the desired result. We may not get the desired result. So the result is not in our hand. We can perform our action. And then Krishna says that when you get the desired result, then you should not think yourself to be the doer. Huh? Mahafali Shuka, Ma karma fal hetu. You cannot consider yourself to the hetu of karma. Hetu of karma. Oh, really? If I just have to do karma, I cannot desire the result of the karma, and I cannot take the credit of karma. Why should I even perform the karma? One may ask, and Krishna says, Mate sangasa karmani. You cannot become a karmani also. Karma you have to do anyway. You know, you must do the karma. So, my dear devotees, such kind of karma, we have to understand Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. But we can only do such karma wherein we are not attached to the result, wherein we are not, consider ourselves to the hetu, and we do not become a karmani only when we do Krishna centered karma, when we keep Krishna in the center of all our activities. So, in this way, Krishna guides us to, finally, he tells so many things about how we can become dear to him, what pleases him, what is the real knowledge, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, chantir, aharjavam, acharya pasam, 13th chapter, how we can get rid of, first we start performing all the things that we are doing at present in the mode of, we can transcend the mode slowly, slowly, that we are doing in Tamogun, bring it to Rajogun, bring it to Satogun. What are different kind of activities that are done in different modes? How we can transcend those activities to come first on the Satogun? How Satogun, Sattva Sanjayate Jnanam, Sattva se we get Jnanam, and Sattvastha Urdhva Gacchanta Sattvastha, one who perform his activities in the mode of goodness, he can go to the higher planetary system. So this is how Krishna is trying to make all aspects of knowledge clear to Krishna, to Arjuna, so that and in the midst of all this, Krishna talks about the mind control. So I was telling two aspects which Krishna really discusses. One is our identity, our relationship with him, and second, the biggest enemy that is there with us is our uncontrolled mind. So how controlling the senses, how using the senses in the service of Lord, how controlling our mind, because uncontrolled mind, Krishna says, bandhuratma atmanastasya atmaiva atmanajita manatmanastu shatrutve vartetat. So the biggest enemy is within us, is living within us. He is with us 24 into 7. And we may look, this is Bangladeshis are my enemy, Pakistanis are my enemy, so many enemies we may look outside. But actual enemy is our uncontrolled mind. So how we control our mind, how we, yehi sansparsha bhoga, we do not want to get attached to the, we are withdrawing our senses from the sense objects. So this, all this exercise Krishna tells, so that finally he tells about the prayojana, how we become very dear to Krishna. We become very dear Krishna. Krishna says, santushta satatam yogi yatatma दृढ़ निश्चय मई अर्पित मनोबुद्धिर yo mad bhakta same priya. So Krishna tells, who is most dear to me? Mad bhakta, my arpit mano buddhir, one who surrenders his mind and intelligence up unto me. uh, he becomes my devotee, and he is most dear to me. So my dear devotees, this is the treatise, the song of Krishna, through which Krishna wants all of us to become dear to Him, and surrender everything unto Him, and distribute this knowledge to everyone indiscriminately. And in this way, if we do, then we become very dear to Krishna. And Krishna says, okay, at that time, then finally, when the final examination will come, if throughout your life you do, mat chitta, madgat prana, bodhyanta parasparam, then at the end of your life, you will remember me. You will remember me, and you will surely come back to me without fail. So, in this way, Krishna talks about Sambandha, Abhidhe, and Prayojan. So, my humble request to all of you is that this is a very, very auspicious month. We should not sit back. We should read Bhagavad Gita regularly. We should read it regularly without fail. and we distribute it. We distribute it to all concerned, to all those, we care for, and we care for everyone. So when I was speaking about being religionist or being spiritualist, so actually, all these religionists are quite favorable people. They are they are looking, they're hankering for getting some right understanding from the right source. We see ISKCON temples are full of religionists. So many religionists are coming. They are fear driven. They are driven by their sense gratification. They do not know what to ask from Krishna. They do not have knowledge. And we have got the real pearls of wisdom through this Bhagavad Gita. So please preach Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita, live Bhagavad Gita, and in this way, believe me, Bharat Bhumite Manusya Janma Hoile Jar, Janma Sarthak Kari, we can make our life successful and we can do real paropkar by which, just imagine if 100 crore people of this Bharat Bhumi, they become Krishna devotees, they become real transcendentalists, spiritualists, and then what will be the situation? We will always you then we can, really, Prabhupada said that it's duty of those born in Bharat Bhumi to guide the whole world, to guide the whole world. Prabhupada alone did so much, and but Prabhupada has left his lineage, his legacy with us, and this is the Prabhupada three times, first time his wife sold out Bhagavad Gita copy that he wrote with so much of hard work. Second time it was stolen America. Third time it was half printed. It wasn't printed full by Macmillan, the printing company, and then finally, so Prabhupada made so much intense effort to give us this Bhagavad Gita as it is, all the purports, all the beautiful description. Prabhupada changed the meanings of shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. If you will match this Bhagavad Gita with Gita Press Gorakhpur, you will say that actually in Sanskrit this should mean this. Why Prabhupada is writing this? Actually, Prabhupada wanted to save all of us, so that we do not become victims of some different understandings of Bhagavad Gita and we really become good devotees of Krishna. Because Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna. Bhakto sime sakha cheti rahasyat etad uttamam. I am giving you this topmost knowledge because you are my devotee. Only a devotee can understand these tenets of Bhagavad Gita to his heart content. And when he gets this knowledge, he can preach it far and wide. And the whole world is looking for it. The whole world wants to be in a situation where in this world they can live happily, without anxiety, and on leaving this body, they are not in pains while they are leaving this body. They are actually in blissful situation when they're about to leave this body because they see Krishna in the form of time. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kalvasmi, Chaikrit Lok Pravritta, I am devouring all the lokas, but time in Krishna in the form of time when he comes to devotee at that end of his life, when Krishna is snatching away everything from him to a devotee, Krishna is giving himself, So Krishna in the form of time even comes as a death to non-devotees and devotees both. But for non-devotees, it is like the most worst experience, because everything he has is being snatched away by devouring power of time. But for devotees, Krishna is giving himself at the time of death. Krishna says, yeah, he comes to me. He has become so much dear to me that he is always chanting my glories. He is chanting my names. So now is the time when I will go and take him away with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And Krishna says, nobody is as dear to me uh, as one who propagates this message. Yaidam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu vidhasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vaishyati apsamshaya mat karma kran mat parmo. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam. They always chant my glories. They surrender everything unto me. They always talk about me. And in this way, when they do these five things, mat karma kran, mat parmo, mad bhakta, sangavarjita, nirvair, sarvabhuteshu, yaha sa mameti pandava. Such a person comes back to me. Who? One who performs activities only for my pleasure. One who understands me to be the Supreme Lord, one who becomes my devotee, one who gives up all attachments of this material world, and one who, without any grudge, envy, or hatred for any living entity, nirvaira sarvabhuteshu, uh, sa yasa mam eti pandava. And then Krishna says, Nachatasman manusheshu kashin me prikritama. उससे ज्यादा प्रिय मुझे और कोई नहीं हो सकता, भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्य प्रियता भ्रुव. Who? Ya idam paramam, one who gives this transcendental knowledge to everyone indiscriminately. And then finally, Dhritarashtra asks Sanjay, what is your opinion after hearing all this Bhagavad Gita? What do you think? Oh, Rajan, I'm totally in bliss. I'm in ecstasy to see this beautiful form of Krishna, to get this knowledge, and I can say to the world, I can announce it to the world that where there is Krishna, yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, tatra Shri Vijaya Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Only there will be all opulences, there will be victory, there will be too much power, bhuti, yeah, and there will be extraordinary power, and there will be morality. So when Krishna, so mighty devotees, in our lives, if we always act for the pleasure of Lord, if we read this Bhagavad Gita distribute it, discuss it amongst ourselves, meditate and contemplate on every shloka and see how we can follow it in our lives, then Krishna will be with us, and there will be Shri Vijay Bhuti. All the devotee doesn't want, but Krishna gives this, four things, and this is the Matir Mama. This is my Mat, Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra. So this is like clear indication that what do you think who will win? For sure, Arjuna is going to be victorious. Yatra Pakshe Janardana. Vijay Pandu Putranam Yatra Pakshe Janardana. So when the whole world is with us, but Krishna is not with us, the whole world cannot do anything, cannot give us anything. But if no one is with us, and Krishna is with us, then we have everything. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. This is so please wake up, please rise up, please take Bhagavad Gitas in your hand, just distribute them. I was in Chandrapur few days back, and it's such a fertile time. Sanatan people are really looking for an alternative. They are talking Sanatan, but when they see devotees of Bhagavad Gita devotees of ISKCON on the roadside distributing Bhagavad Gita, they really stop. They really want to, actually applaud the devotees. They really want to say thank you to the devotees. You all are standing and distributing Bhagavad Gita. So let's not feel ashamed. Let's not become lethargic, complacent. Just let's take Bhagavad Gita, go outside on the street, and indiscriminately, a rickshaw wala can take a Bhagavad Gita. A very poor person selling mungfali can take Bhagavad Gita. So don't discriminate. Oh, this is a poor man, this is a rich man. No, indiscriminately, everyone just distribute Bhagavad Gitas. And we can only distribute Bhagavad Gita when we know the heart of Bhagavad Gita. And the heart of Bhagavad Gita is that we all can become freed of all the anxieties. We can live happily, we can learn the art of living, and finally we can learn the art of dying. We can learn the art of dying. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Samaved Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any
थैंक यू वेरी मच
question?
प्रभु जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आज के सत्र के लिए। सभी भक्तों से अनुरोध है, महामंत्र का उच्चारण करके श्रीमान हरे कीर्तन प्रभु का हम हृदय पूर्वक आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। और कल कुछ भक्तों के जन्म दिवस भी थे, तो हम वो भी अनाउंस करना चाहते हैं। श्यामलांगी माता जी की सुपुत्री राधिका, इट वाज हर बर्थडे यस्टरडे। लावण्य सुंदर माता जी बीकानेर से, और दधीची मुनि प्रभु पुणे से। तो उन सभी भक्तों को उनके जन्म दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देते हैं। हम पुनः महामंत्र का उच्चारण करके आज के सत्र को विराम देते हैं। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। परम पूज्य श्री लोकनाथ स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।